Okay. Uh, a very good day to everybody. Today we are going to actually explore on what we call the environmental analysis. Yeah. So what is environmental analysis actually? Yeah. Um, Environmental analysis by means is a strategic tool. So what does it mean? Yeah? So environmental analysis is a process to identify all the external and internal element, internal and external element, which can affect the organizational performance. Yeah. So the analysis would normally entail into assessment of the SWOT, or the level of opportunity. Sorry, the level of threats and opportunities, because it is external, uh, into what might be present that would be what would say an opportunity as well as a threat to the organization. And this evaluation later will be used, yeah, um, will be actually be guidance for the managers or CEO to into their decision making process. Yeah. So the analysis actually help. This is help aligned strategies with the organizational environment. They wanted to know what's happening outside. So what happens is that the market that we are in today changes every day. Yeah. Many new things develop over time, and a whole scenario is that it can be only a few seconds. In a few seconds, things can change. Interruptions. Yeah. There are some factors that are beyond our control, beyond our control. Yeah. But also there are some that we can control. Yeah. There are some also that we can control. So when we talk about the environmental analysis, yeah, we need to understand that businesses are influenced. Yeah? Businesses are influenced by the situation of the day-to-day situation, and that would determine, yeah, what would be the factors impacting the organization. Now, there are many strategic analysis tools, yeah, that a firm or a company or an organization can use. I say some are very common, like PESTLE, kan, uh, Porter Five Forces, yeah. So, but the one that we wanted to touch now is actually the PEST analysis or the PESTLE analysis. So, what is PESTLE analysis? Remember, when we talk about PESTLE, is the overall environment of the organization. It's about the organization as a whole. What are the factors that impact the organization as a whole, and that would be probably be an opportunity or might be threats to the organization. We cannot control, tapi dia boleh influence. So when we talk about PESTLE, we talk about first is political. Political. Second one, we discuss on the economic. We have social. We have technology. We have legal, and we have environment. The first one actually started all off with PEST, P-E-S-T, politic, economy, social, technology. Then we move on to what we call the legal factors and the environmental factors. Now, in many instances, managers choose to learn from politics, economy, social factors only. Yeah, because they actually did not actually cover the legal and environment. Yeah, but then again, because of the requirement or because of the demand of legislation, demand from what we call the stakeholders, yeah. So organizations start to look into two more additional factors, yeah, i.e., the economy, sorry, the environment as well as the legislation, environment as well as legislation. Now, when we talk about P or political, what is P? What is political? Yeah, political factors take the country or the world current political situation. Yeah, it also read the global politics like Trump, China, whatnot, and how does it affect the country and the business. So when conducting these steps, this analysis, there are questions that we need to answer, eh? Like probably what will be the new government policy if there is a new government? If there will be any changes in policy? If there is any demand for changes in policy? What will be the tax law? What will be the duty on imports, tariff, and whatnot? Yeah, and how do we see the government? Is it a stable government? Yeah, is it actually a government that actually having difficulties in terms of maintaining their influence, the power? Yeah, and then in terms of the last one is entry mode. Entry mode regulation means how easy for a company to go into the country to do business. Yeah, so there are four things that you look into when you do politics. Yeah? The first one is actually the government policy as a whole. The second one is actually the tax law and the tariff. eh, and how stable is the government, and is it easy to do business in that particular environment or country. Then we have E. E stands for economic factors. E stands for economic factors. So economic factors involve all the determinants, all the factors, or all the aspect of the economy and its states. Yeah. What is? These are the factors that can conclude the direction in which the economy might move on. So businesses analyze this factor based on the environment because it will help them to set the strategy in line with any changes that might happen. In line with any changes that might happen. Now, I want to share some of the what we call determinants that you may want to assess later on when you do economic analysis. The first one that we want to look into is maybe the inflation rate, right? Or the second one is interest rate, inflation rate, interest rate, disposing purchasing power or disposable income, credit accessibility. Is it easy to get loans? Unemployment rates, monetary or fiscal policies, taxes, money in the market. Money liquidity. We talk about liquidity, as well as what is the foreign exchange rate, how weak or how strong the exchange rate is. Now, moving on to social factor. What are social? Now, a country varies from one to another. Yeah. So every country has a distinctive mindset, culture, and this attitude would have an impact on the businesses. Yeah. So the social factors might ultimately affect the sale of product and services. It will actually have impact on the uh, buying behavior, how people choose, what colors people like, what is right, what is wrong, yeah, in that particular culture. So some of the social factor that you should study or want to actually explore is actually the first one is the cultural implication. Yeah. How do people make decision when they wanted to purchase a car? Maybe how do people make decision when they actually want to spend their money? What the houses that you can sell? What the houses that you can actually cannot sell? Yeah. The next one is actually talk about gender and connected demography. Yeah. When we talk about gender, right? When we talk about demography, it's about age, yeah, age limit, oh sorry, about Gen Y, Gen X, Gen Z, because everybody have got their own preferences, own mindset. Yeah. Even social lifestyle. I will talk about social lifestyle as well. How people actually behave themselves, how they do go kenduri ke nightclub or whatnot. Social lifestyles. Yeah. Do they eat out frequently or whatnot? Then we have the what we call the educational level. Educational level. Educational level means actually in that country literacy rate, how many people go for higher education and whatnot. Yeah. Then you have distribution of wealth. Right? There are certain countries that top 10 control the bottom 90. Yeah. 10% super rich, 90% super poor. Or do you have a structured top, mid, and uh, below? Yeah. So you have the B40, M40, T20, and that kind of actually distribution of wealth. How many, right? So what is good, what is bad for the company depending on actually the distribution of wealth in that particular country. Then you have the domestic structure. In certain countries, the female are more also dominant than the male. Certain countries, the male are more dominant than the female. Yeah. So that is what we call the domestic structure. How actually they actually make decision is very important. That is on demography. Yeah. The next one is technology. Yeah, what is technology? Is all about. Technology is about advancement. It's about ability to advance in terms of the use of nowadays we have the Internet of Things. Yeah, uh, the IT advancement is greatly influencing businesses. Yeah, when we do environmental analysis on this factor, it will help us to stay updated with the changes. Yeah? Technology changes every minute. This is why many organizations must stay connected at all times. Like we are having now, lah, kan? We have virtual classes and whatnot. So the firm should integrate when needed. You need to integrate. Yeah? Technology factors will help us to know how the consumer react to various trend. Nowadays they're using apa kita panggil the Internet of Things, the big data. Why? Because we want to know, we want to understand how people behave, how people actually make buying decision. And this and that. Yeah. The next one is actually, oh sorry, what are the factors? What are the factors? What are the factors that need to be looked into when we do uh, um, technological analysis? So we want to see a new invention, new discoveries. What is new in the market? The rate of technology obsoletes. Berapa cepat teknologi itu habis? How quick the technology will actually end up with another technology? Yeah, like 3G, 4G. Now we have 5Gs and whatnot. Then we have innovative and technological platform. Yeah. So these are the things that people who's doing research. Contohnya, one example that I want to give you is actually in terms of how we do testing, COVID-19 testing. Kan? This is actually also based on technology. Because in India, they actually have a cheaper technology to actually do the analysis. And actually within 30 minutes. And the result is only 5% less accuracy than the current one. For example, it's cheaper. Right? So technology can make things cheaper. Yeah. Then we have a legal. Now, when we talk about legal, yeah, legal changes can take place from time to time. This is something that you need to remember. Yeah? And many of these changes affect the business environment. Let's say if there is a regulatory body, contohlah, we have here regulatory bodies like Suruhanjaya Tenaga, the Tenaga Commission, the Energy Commission, you have the Telecommunication Commission, yeah, and Multimedia Commission and whatnot. Yeah, normally this regulatory body set up regulation for the industries. Yeah, for example, let's say MCMC would probably enact a law that impact industries in the way that okay, they say that okay, nowadays you need to have at least 100 meg for fiber or unified system at least 100 meg. That how does it impact businesses? They need to upgrade their businesses. They need to upgrade their service delivery. That's one example lah. Yeah. So when we talk about businesses, what are the things that we need to look into? We need to look into the product regulation. The Ministry of Health approval, type approval, or the Suruhanjaya Tenaga Energy Commission approval, type approval. There's a lot of approval regulation on the product and services. Then you have the employment regulation. Minimum salaries, working hours, then they have coming out with other things lah, like COVID-19 regulation, advisory and whatnot. Then you have the competitive regulation, antitrust. Antitrust means to say, if there is a company that actually dominant in the market, so what happens is that they will be bound by regulation from the antitrust commission. Mean to say, dia mesti ada competition. Dia tak boleh jadi satu cartel. It cannot be a cartel. They must have competition. Yeah. So regulation of competition. The next one is patent. Patent. Patent is intellectual property. When we talk about intellectual property, we talk about intellectual rights, trademarks, kind of thing. So contoh, example in China, you can do Gucci bag, you can do all the types, you can do all iPhone made in China, one of those. So, so when we talk about intellectual property, there are countries who have less restrictive on intellectual property. There are also what we call country that actually very restrictive on intellectual property. Yeah. So when we talk about that one, yeah, we talk about what else? Patent and health and safety, health and safety regulation as well. Health and safety regulation. So that is PESTL. Now the last one, environment. What is environment? Now when we talk about environment, yeah, normally the location that the business in will have influence on how we do business. Yeah, changes in climate change can affect trade. Kita ada carbon, nowadays we have carbon, carbon charges and whatnot. The consumer sections reaction, the consumer reaction to to a certain product, yeah, can also be an issue. Contoh, example, some people like to buy uh, skincare that actually not tested on animals, for example. Not tested on animals. Skincare that is not related, tested on animal. One thing. So when you do environmental analysis in terms of environmental factors, right, you need to look into what geographical location. Are you actually damaging the environment? Where you have the green people, you they have this green people, kan? What else? Then you actually, is there any climate weather changes? The you have the smoke from Sumatra, Indonesia. This all you know is that the plantation company owner is Malaysian, kind of thing lah. And you have waste disposal. So this is where our river is being polluted, and end up we do not have water for 2 or 3 days, right? Kuala Lumpur. And then energy consumption. Yeah, we talk about some people actually wanted to abolish the nuclear plant. Actually, they actually argue that it is very dangerous to human. Yeah? Of course, in terms of the people literacy, in terms of the environment, certain people, they are very conscious about the environment. So they only purchase products and services from the company that they feel is actually contributing to the taking care of the green in the world. So when we talk about environmental analysis, yeah, when we talk about analysis, uh, I like to suggest to you to actually take these 5 simple steps. The first one that you need to do is that you need to understand all the environmental factor before moving on to the next step. Before you do your strategy, right? You actually need to see the overview, the overall pictures. Okay? Secondly, all right, only collect the relevant information. Don't collect non-relevant information. Yeah. The third one, identify the opportunities for the organization based on PESTLE. What can we do based on the findings of the what we call this PESTLE analysis? The next one is we need to also recognize what be the threats. What be the threats for our company or for our organization? Satu tadi opportunities. Second one is threats. And of course, finally, number 5, actually, what action will be taken based on this um, analysis. Now, what I do is that I will have a video for you later on. Yes, a video that will re-emphasize or actually reinforce on this lecture on PESTLE, and then subsequently we will do the assignment lah. Sekejap lagi. Alright, see you later.